And welcome back to Bitcoin Advisors channel. My name is Chris, bringing it to you from Westlake Village, California. It is the afternoon. My first video did not go through. So let's jump into some price action. And really, it's been a little bit of a choppy market going into this FOMC and CPI print tomorrow. So we'll see if we get a bit of a higher rate increase. Economic data coming out Tuesday, Wednesday. CPI Tuesday, not Taco Tuesday. And FOMC Wednesday. And what we're looking for is inflation to come down significantly. They're expecting it to come down from 0.4 to 0.2. So nearly half the month over month. And then year over year is expected to go down from 4.9 to 4.1%. And I would say that this, inflation print will influence whether the Fed pauses or not. A pause would be bullish for Bitcoin. Some say maybe not. Why? Because if they pause, something is broken in the system. What's broken? We're talking about the banking sector, which if you check in on this guy here, let's see if that little pizza broke out. The falling pizza has broken out to the upside and probably targeting a move up here. But compare this to, NASDAQ or any of the tech stocks. Banking sector is getting held up here. And do we have any divergences here? Not quite yet. So probably a little bit more to go on that one. But needless to say, let's talk about some of the other underlying market dynamics. You got open interest coming down to 7.9 billion. Funding rates here are coming in. You're probably paying to go long here. We'll also look at the dollar. We'll take a look at NASDAQ really quick. Paying to go long, inconsequential at the moment. And then what's the last one I like to check in? The fear and greed index, which is at a 47. So we're still in the neutral zone there. What the Kobisi letter have to say today? There's now a 26% chance the Fed raises interest rates next week. I think that was from last Friday. I didn't read it to you guys. And what was I going to bring out? The rate hike tool. The rate hike tool. Let's check it out here real quick. CME rate hike tool. And after a higher than expected inflation print, I would expect this to flip-flop just a little bit. 79% chance of a pause and 20% chance, or 20.9% chance that we are going to raise rates another 0.25%. Let's take a look at the bond market really quick as the 10-year yield is, I just saw an analysis on this, where this guy was talking about a dip down to 2.25 and then a rise back up to 5. And he was talking about on the 4-hour chart. Let's see if I can see what he's talking about here. 2.8 is way down here, way down here. So not seeing that at the moment, but on a more macro schedule, the weekly time frame did, perhaps, no, it's still in a downtrend. So weekly downtrend, lower highs and lower lows. So we'll have to see how rates go. If rates go down, that means, something's wrong in the market. That's my opinion. Again, not financial advice. And when I say wrong, stocks are probably going down if interest rates are going down. Okay, checking in on Dixie really quick before I get into the Bitcoin price action. Essentially if Dixie gets back above 105, you're going to look at a run up here, and that'd be bad for risk on assets. We did say on the daily time frame, all we want to do is see the dollar make a higher low somewhere above this green box. That's the 0.5 and the 618. And the dollar's been king of the market here, and I'm going to keep going with that until something changes. But a higher low will be confirmed. In my book, any kind of a closure above this guy right here. And, higher low, could you call this a complex high? Perhaps yes. But still in the middle of the road here, and I wouldn't be surprised if it came down a little bit more as well. But I'm goosing the odds in the favor of the bulls here at the moment. We'll see what that inflation print brings tomorrow. Okay, getting into Bitcoin price action. And yeah, I'm just going to give it away here. On the 3-day time frame, again, we talked about this hidden bearish divergence, which was confirmed a few weeks ago. But essentially, price is making lower highs, and the RSI is making higher highs. So you had 3 drives that was confirmed on this candle right here, giving us a downside target to the bottom side of the range that has hit. Now we just had a 4th drive, which is going to be this high confirmed right there. And that does give us a target down to 24,531. Somewhere in that range, and you know, probably taking bids along that. Definitely looking for a bounce off this 1618 fib on the first pass at least. Again, not financial advice, but I'm not a financial advisor. But yeah, what else did I want to show on the? So this would be the 4th drive, and again, if you want to learn more about bullish and bearish divergence, you can go to bitcoinadvisors.com, click on the resource center right here. We'll leave a link in the description below. And look at bullish and bearish divergence. The difference is this is a hidden divergence, which is hidden bearish divergence in the context of a downtrend where the price makes a lower high and RSI makes a higher high. Based on the 4-drive philosophy, the 4th drive, which we just had on the 3-day, gives us a target of the 1618 fib. And ideal setups, we want to trade with the trend, bullish divergence coming from a low level and bearish divergence coming from a high level. So are we coming from a high level? Not necessarily, but when we called it out here, yes, it was a higher level. Okay, so again, 3-day volatility begins to expand. I do think this is the one. And what we want to see is like a 1-day or a 2-day, like 2 or 3 candle expansion. Essentially, this thing needs to just get above, like straight above, like one of these kind of moves. That's going to get you the direction on the next probably 25 to 30% move from where we are currently trading at. So just let's take 20% in either direction, 20% down. Gets you to the $20,000 low, and 20% to the upside actually just brings you to the range high. And yeah, I'd be looking for this kind of daily downtrend to get broken before something like that happens. So I'm going to get rid of this trend line here and throw in another one on the daily. And just remember, this is a main area of contention, this daily downtrend. So essentially, as long as we're below this pivot, it's pressure on to the downside. Also, notably on the daily time frame, 26,400. If we do flip momentum back to the downside, back to the upside, you could see a bit of a mean reversion bounce. And as long as bounces are pretty much coming, you know, below this area, below this trend line, it does look like pressure will remain to the downside. What else do I want to bring up here? Ethereum did break our critical level to the downside. I am expecting this one, Ethereum, to head down to this trend line over the next few weeks, which is coming around 1450. Additionally, you can use your 1618 fib and so you're probably going to get a bounce around 1600 on the first pass. And this move would get invalidated now with any kind of a closure back above 1857 on the daily. So pressure on to the downside for Mr. Ethereum. Also notice Ethereum Bitcoin is bleeding it out here and getting a bit of a reversal, putting in a lower high and remaining with that downtrend. Also, from a weekly perspective, you would also be putting in another lower high if we close pretty much anywhere here or lower on Ethereum Bitcoin. And that essentially puts pressure onto the downside for altcoins. Additionally, you can see Tether dominance Why is this one hard to find? Tethered dominance coming in here. USDT.D had a bullish close last week, forming a bit of a W bottom. Looking for, continuation on this, which probably puts pressure on the downside for the altcoin market. What else did I want to bring up? Crypto bubbles, any? So it looks like rallying on the hourly and on the day. Pulse is leading the downward move. A Ripple also getting shield. It's also getting a bit of a downside pressure as well. I want to check in on Ripple really quick. Ethereum. What about Chili's? That one also not doing too well. Compound, I heard, had a nice leg down and probably put in for a bounce here. To be fair, Compound, I think, relatively a decent project overall. AVAX also putting in a big leg down on the weekly time frame. Not a whole lot of volume there, though, so probably due for a bounce there. But again, if Bitcoin gets shafted, everything's going to go with it. Mana, no, this is one I'm looking for. Stacks, another one bleeding it out to the downside pretty hard. I think a measure move down a bit further south is in play. And checking in on total market cap to finish it up. This is all the money in crypto. And using the wicks, I mean, this potentially has some down. If we come back to the bottom side of the trend line, not going to happen in one day, but a perfect head and shoulders formation would be something like this. Boom, and then break the neckline and tap it maybe somewhere around there. And again, that lines up with the $20,000 or $19,000 pivot on Bitcoin. 19.5, that's the, and essentially we don't want to have a weekly closure below 20, call it 21.9 if we want to keep the weekly uptrend in place. Checking out NASDAQ. I personally wouldn't be chasing this one and just kind of waiting for the hammer to drop when it comes to the reversal here on NASDAQ. Now, could I be wrong? Absolutely. But I don't think this is helping out. Yeah, so next target is this thing, this thing. It's called the 786 on the fib, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a little run up there as we are taking out this high. And now for bearish divergence to form, you need to take out the all-time high. Taking out the all-time high would be pretty significant for NASDAQ and surprise quite a few people. Other than that, since Bitcoin is not participating in any of the NASDAQ rally, I would say one or two things is going to happen, right? Typically, either NASDAQ is going to pull back and Bitcoin's really going to get shafted, or NASDAQ is going to keep going higher and the correlation is going to hold true. Bitcoin will pick itself up by its bootstraps and at least close a daily back above this pivot. Coming in at 26,400, that would be the first warning sign that this was a bear trap. And really confirmation would be 28.5 for me, or this last spike high on the daily time frame. As long as we were below there, pressure on to the downside. I'll be bringing you another update tomorrow. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give me a like, share it with a friend. And that's it for today, guys. Have a blessed and highly favored day. Take care.